I know I did an absolute horrible job describing these books to you. I pretty much just said read them. Read these books because I read them and they're good. That's pretty much my whole video in like one sentence. You just wasted 20 minutes of your life. What is up, guys? Tabby here and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, as you guys can already tell, I'm going to be talking about some of my recent reads. Now, these aren't all of the books that I have read recently, but they are kind of the ones that I want to talk about, especially two of them, because they were two books that were recommended to me and that I had been seeing all over like TikTok, BookTube, like they are very hyped up books, and one of them was even made into a motion picture. So we have a lot to talk about, guys. And I'm going to try and do it without spoilers. Pray for me. Here we go. So the first book that I want to talk about is one of the books that I was just talking about. It is Verity by Colleen Hoover. Now, this book was recommended to me by a friend from work. She even lent me her book to read it. She's like, you have to read it. You have to. And I am so glad that I read this book. Okay, so just a little bit about the story. It is about Verity, who is a book writer who was in a car accident and cannot finish a series of books that she was doing. So her husband and like her publisher or whoever reached out to this writer to finish the story. So this writer, Lowen, if that's how you say her name, how I say it and how I see it in my mind when I'm reading the book are two different things. But Lowen is the writer that they chose to finish Verity's series. So a lot has actually happened in Lowen's life. To where she actually needed a place to stay. So Jeremy, the husband of Verity, the author, invited Lowen to come stay at their house and go through all of Verity's research, all of her information to finish her series. So Verity was in a car accident and she is disabled. Like she's not able to like feed herself or do anything. She's pretty much a total care patient at this point. And let's just say Lowen was going through Verity's research and she found a manuscript. And this manuscript, like I don't even want to say what it... See, I hate talking about books without giving spoilers because I really want to talk to you guys about it. Like, talk about it. But this manuscript by Verity shows a different side of Verity than how we think she's portrayed in the book. Oh, that doesn't make sense. I really don't know how to talk about it. That's why I'm so bad at BookTube videos. I'm going to put the description on the screen just so you kind of have a basis of what this book is about. Putting it there. Okay, now to my review or what I thought of it without giving anything away. You guys, when I say you have to read this book, you have to read it. Holy for Toly, rabies, whatever. It's the ending. The ending. It is very rare that I don't already know or have a feeling of where the ending is going by the time I get to it. This book and Silent Patient, if you haven't read that book, you need to read it. The endings were just mind-boggling. Like, what the... I want to talk about it. Because the ending of this book leaves you with, like, two different impressions. Like, you can think of this book in two different ways just from the ending of the book. Is Verity really this person? Or is she this person? I honestly want to say that she's this person. Because there's so much throughout the book that leads to her being this person. But then again, as a mom, I want to believe that she was really this person and it was all just, you know. I don't even think I'm making any sense unless you've actually read the book. Ugh. Again, guys, I 1000% recommend this book. It is not overhyped at all. Like, I think it's underhyped. It needs to be hyped up more because the ending, the writing, I will say, trigger warning. There should have been a trigger warning because as a mom, there are parts of this that talk about, like, I wouldn't say child abuse, but I mean, I would. And things with babies and stuff that like really was very, 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 very hard for me to read. But if you can make it, and it's not too graphic, but it's just graphic enough that I'm just like, my heart is breaking in 1,000 pieces. How could she do that? Again, that's why I think she's this person. You know? Ooh. So yeah, guys, that was 7 minutes of me rambling about a book that I said absolutely nothing about. You're welcome. This is the content you clicked on this video for. So yeah, 5 out of 5 stars. I don't really rate books because I don't really have a rating system, but 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10, 1,000 out of 1,000. Like, it's the best of the best. So freaking good. And reading that book kind of put me in the wormhole of Colleen Hoover. So the next book that I want to talk about is Ugly Love. Again, I'll put the description on the screen. You guys can pause the video and watch it. I honestly did not love this book as much, but if you read the description, this book is pretty much about a woman named Tate. She moves in with her brother, who's a pilot, and his next door neighbor is a pilot, Miles, and he just screams red flags to me. Like, he is just red flags, commitment issues. Like, why the crap are we messing around with the red flags and the commitment issues? Like, we're just going back. So a lot of it was kind of like, okay, you can move on now. So like, again, I didn't love this story as much, but I still thought it was a really good story just for the fact that it had moments of Miles that explains his red flags and commitment issues. Like, you totally get it by the end, but getting there, I was just like, okay, next. Thank you. Next. Thank you. Next. Red flags everywhere. So, I mean, like, he even says he's like red flags. Like, he tells her and she's like, meh, that's okay. I can't. I don't understand. But like the back flashes, like the memory flashes that we get from Miles. Again, as a mom, trigger warning, trigger warning, because I cried. Like, even thinking about it, like, you guys, I can't. I cried. Again, the whole story by the end you really do like, but it took a minute to get there. Like, there were several moments that I was kind of like, okay, like I said, but once you get to the end, the story as a whole makes so much more sense. You get it. Again, these 2 books are my first experience with Colleen Hoover, and I do really like her writing style. Like, I really do. And that's what kind of kept pushing me through the red flags and all of that. Just because she did keep it interesting enough to be like, okay, why is he the way that he is? There has to be a reason. And there was a reason, guys. I do definitely recommend reading. It wasn't as good as Verity. I will definitely say that, but it was a good book, especially when you finished it, you understand, you get it. You get it by the end, and the ending is so sweet. Like, it was a good ending. It was a really good ending. I was kind of wondering where we were going, but the ending it's worth it, guys. But yes, Ugly Love, Colleen Hoover, definitely recommend. But Verity first. If you don't read any book in this list, you better read Verity. You better. And if you've read Verity or any of the books that I'm mentioning, let's talk about it without spoilers, if we can. Tell me, guys, is she this or is she this? If you know, you know. Okay, moving on. The next book I want to talk about is Sandman by Neil Gaiman, if I said that right. You guys know I'm terrible with names. So this was actually just released as a Netflix series, but I saw when I was scrolling on Audible for my next book, as I do, that they had Sandman on there. And I was like, okay, so I got it. And guys, When I say trigger warning, I mean trigger warning. This book is so amazingly descriptive on child abuse, on abuse, on SA, like it does not tread lightly on anything. And the audiobook, which again is how I read this, it is so good because it has sound effects, it has different characters, like it was a full production. So if you like the comics and stuff and are not bothered by trigger warning stuff, this is the book for you. There was a part in the book, again, it involved a child, that I almost quit reading because you guys, when it comes to kids, it's just like, it's hard. It is so hard for me to read that kind of stuff, especially when it touches on abuse. And it was very descriptive. And I did not like that. But the story is not just like one story. Like it's a bunch of different stories, like it is in the Netflix show of the Sandman kind of going through different things. And guys, it was good. It kept me on the edge of my seat. Sometimes I was like cowering in fear, like I can't get through this part, but it kept me wanting to listen. It was so good, especially the audiobook. I recommend reading this as an audiobook because, guys, like I said, the sound effects, just everything was so detailed, and like it even had like the dun dun dun, the music and the creaking boards, and even the rat sounds, which if you know, you know. So yeah, I 1000% recommend, but again, hardcore trigger warning, be prepared for a lot of stuff. Gore, abuse, just be prepared, okay? Because I was not prepared. I was not. And when it started going down that, and I was at work too. I was at work listening and I was like, oh my God. So yes, definitely recommend. So the next book that I want to talk about is Can't Look Away. And again, I will put the description on the screen for you guys. This is about Molly, who I do believe was a waitress or something at the beginning of the book. And she fell in love with a Jake Danner, who was a musician, and he kind of grew in fame throughout their relationship. And again, Jake to me was nothing but red flags and commitment issues. Like, I couldn't. Like, again, the writing style of this book is so good because you're like split in half. You're like, you want this relationship to succeed, but then another part of you is just like, why? Thank you, next. Thank you, next. So like the whole thing is so crazy. And again, one thing I absolutely love about this book is we have flashbacks. It jumps from the present to the past, which is done so phenomenally. It really does keep you on the edge of your seat. Again, it's nothing like super crazy. It's about a relationship and stuff, but you still want to know like, what happened next? How did they end up where they are, married to two separate people? And then like you see their story and then his wife, and just, I don't want to give anything away, but like, yes. Definitely recommend. Such a good book, such a good writing style and flow of the story. Like I read this book in like a day and a half, I think. Like it really is just one of those books that keep you guessing. Like why? What happened? Where are we going? How is this the way it is? Again, it's not like a high-speed car chase or war or this. It's just about a relationship. And there's something so easygoing about that. Like it's not murder. It's not anything graphic. It's just this good old-fashioned love story that went wrong. But you see their relationship grow, and just, yeah, you guys, I recommend. I definitely recommend, especially if you like romance books, love stories and stuff, because there's a little bit of everything in this book, because it does have some mystery. It really does. Again, and that's another thing that kind of keeps you wanting to read, you know? And I love a book that I don't want to put down. If I don't want to put it down, I'll probably pick it back up again. You know what I'm saying? And this is a book that I could probably read again. Like, it's just, yes. Okay. I'm so bad at this. Like, why am I doing this? Is this the content you guys want. I'm losing my voice. Wow. Okay. And the last book on my list of recent reads is actually one that has just been released as a motion picture. I'm not gonna lie, I have not watched the movie yet because I really don't want to ruin the book. And as you can see, it is Where the Crawdads Sings by Delia Owens. I probably butchered that. And again, I will put the description up on the screen for you guys to read. So go ahead and pause it, get the description so you kind of know what I'm talking about. Okay, so this book is about Kaya, or Marsh Girl. And again, the beginning of the book, it's a little touch and go. We got some abuse. So trigger warning for spousal abuse, child abuse, like neglect, all of that. I mean, it's just, it does not start off on an easy road. I mean, it's just bumpy. We're just bumping all the way through. And again, guys, I don't want to give anything away, but the ending of this book, it's another book where you don't know the ending. Like, you kind of like, maybe not, maybe, no, maybe. And so at the end, you get your answer. I want to talk about it, but I can't talk about it without giving spoilers. Oh, so yes, I loved the ending of this book. It's like a growing, what's the word? Growing up book. Coming to age. It's like a coming of age book because we start with Kaya. You know, she's younger. I don't remember how old, like 7 or something. And then we see her like go through her life as a kid, as a teenager, as a young woman, as an older woman. You know, like you see her entire life throughout this book. You see her struggles, what she went, what she learned. We even have romance in this book, which is nice and not nice. We have Tate and we have Chase. So, you know, we have some romance in this book and how she like survives different romances and grows and learns. And it really is such a good book. Like another 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10, 1,000 out of 1,000. Best of the best. The writing is phenomenal. This is another book that I listened to on Audible. Like if Audible ever reached out to me and wanted to work with me, I would probably die on the spot because Audible is how I do 99% of my reading now. I just love audiobooks, guys. I really do. And this was such a great audiobook. The narrator was phenomenal. She even had like that kind of Louisiana tang to her voice. And it had the sound effects and like, it was just so good. It was, hello, goodbye. Like it was just so good, guys. So I do definitely recommend reading the book before you watch the movie because the book is always better. Sometimes when you watch a movie, it's so hard to go back and read the book. So read the book. But I do want to watch the movie. I might try and watch it tonight with my husband after we get the kids down. But guys, this book, the ending, the romance, the journey, it's just such a good classic coming of age. So yes, again, definitely recommend. But guys, that was all of my recent reads that I wanted to share with you guys. What did you think? I know I did an absolute horrible job describing these books to you. I pretty much just said read these books because I read them and they're good. That's pretty much my whole video in like one sentence. You just wasted 20 minutes of your life. But guys, for real, I would love to know what you guys thought of these books if you've read them in the comments down below. Try not to give any spoilers because that was the struggle bus for me. And I really don't want to give any of the big moments away because that's what makes reading books so enjoyable, when you get to those moments and you audibly just gasp or you're like holding on to walls for dear life. Like that's the joy of reading. You just get, you know, we're all bookworms here. So yeah, definitely let me know what you guys thought in the comments down below. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, hey, welcome. Feel free to hit that subscribe button if you want to join my small community of Harry Potter lovers and bookworms. And I will see y'all next time. Bye, guys. God, I don't know how to talk about it. These kind of thing. Well, I don't want that. Gives it away. That gives it away. Okay, I can't. Jake is nothing. I just spit. I was so mad. Like, you get one chance with me, buddy, and then you're gone. Like, good God, I can't even read my own bloody handwriting. Marsh, girl. That's the last time I take notes. Like, if Audible ever wanted to work out with me, let's go work out, Audible. Oh my God, I am so losing my voice. I filmed Cauldron Crate and then this. I need water. Water. I'm like SpongeBob, you know, when he's in Sandy's little water. Y'all, I have got to get my setup back up. I cannot keep sitting on the floor. I'm too old.